Mark, first home game in a long time and 4-1 loss to Threave. Can you talk us through that?
I think it was lost in the first half. To be fair, the three goals we lose are pretty disappointing. To be fair, the manner that we lose them. First one we've actually done well, defended the long throw, and then it's a pot shot for the area that takes a wee deflection, but I'm more annoyed about how quickly we get out to that second ball. Second one, I think Jordan's let it through him, thinking it's maybe hitting the side net through the corner, and it's went straight in the net. So again, the manner of how we lose that goal is really disappointing, and then we get, I'd say fortunately, we get ourselves back into the game. A 2-1, which is probably the most clearest offside that we had today, and there was a lot that I was challenging that one then. I can't believe that's the one he gets away with, but look, we scored the goal and we take it. And then we're probably going out of jail coming in at half time at 2-1, and Logan's done really well to track all the way back into the corner, loses it, wins it, and then carries the ball through the corner all the way through into the middle of the box. So Kanki's fouled, but at the end of the day the ball has to get shelled out, and the boys punished us by smashing it in the net on the 45th minute. So overall, first half really frustrating, to be fair, John. It was disappointed. It's the quality we were on the ball and stuff like that as well, and I was asking the boys there at the end I'm struggling because it looked as if we were really nervous on the ball, which is no like us. And like you seen at the second half, I think we changed shape, changed some personnel as well, and we looked a whole lot better in the second half. And I'm sitting there like, taking the micro bits, I'm going, how do we get beat in the second half 1-0 there? But we've got a good couple of chances early on, and we're just unfortunate that we don't take it and make the game a wee bit more edgy. But for me, all the damage is done in the first half, and it's an uphill battle, and then they've just got good game management in the second half there. They just see it out, frustrate us, slow the tempo that they're doing, and disappointing. But I thought night and day between the first half and second half. Initially just a bit gutted, and we're all now questioning it personally between the staff and the players, and we're talking about the message, because look, I don't think it's ever changed. We're always a team that gets the ball down and goes and plays, and look, we can have off days, but I think that whole first half, it looked as if we couldn't get the ball down and pass it at all, and we couldn't clear our lines when it was on to, unfortunately, that dirty word of just shell it. It's in there, and I spoke to the boys about that, and I was like, look, do you think you're not allowed to shell it? Because there is times in the game where we are allowed to do that. We're not going to go crazy if they do it all the time. Look, if I get a boy and he gets the ball 5 times and he shells it 4, then there's going to be an issue. I was like, but if it's a flip where he tries to play and then the odd time when it's not on and he shells it, then that just has to happen naturally, rather than, I don't mean messing about with it, but rather than try to force stuff. But even then, I think we just lacked that first half playing with a wee bit of intensity. We're getting and I mean purpose on it, so it doesn't need intensity, no, in the case of press or anything like that. It's like getting on the ball and playing with a bit of purpose to go forward. We were always going back, and they were getting some hospital balls to Bailey the other day, we bouncing it back, and it's just terrible. And they're the things that we can't account for at the side, and we're asking that for the boys and what the challenge is. But I think it's one of the ones that we kind of just need to take in the chin. It's a wee bit disappointing that we're now on a wee bit of a run of defeats, but I try to reset that at the start before today and look at it and go, look, we played cup games as our Premier or our first division opposition, and we've went in the majority of the games held our own in it. So I'm going, that's for me a positive. I mean, you put out with beat penalties and you put out with ball by a goal, so you're sitting there going, hey, I know it's a defeat, but it doesn't feel like a defeat within them. So look, it's tough one to take today. But I think in that first half we got everything that we deserved. We probably deserved a wee goal or something in the second half, but as I said, the game was done at that point.
In terms of intensity, but also a lot of players not looking as confident as they usually do and as they have been. Has the kind of layoff, we obviously not league games, not many home games, has that had any impact on it? Or?
Look, I think every manager says that it's always difficult when you go to a big run of cup games, and I get it, the cups need to get played, and because before that we were on a wee good bit of momentum within the league, and you go into the cups and it's difficult. Look, we changed shapes, you change personnel within the cups, you try different stuff, so you've not got that regular rhythm. Last week we've got a free week and stuff like that as well, and look, thankfully we've no next week, but trying to be fair, that's all just excuses, to be fair, in my opinion, within it. Look, alright, there's times where we're looking at it the day and we're asking boys who have maybe not started in a couple of weeks to come in and start and show us something and do something, but they're in there for a reason. We've seen something at training, they're working, they're ready to go, and sometimes like that match sharpness is a key important thing. But by the way, that's not me blaming the boys that have went in there half cold off the bench. It was just lacklustre like performance. It was just poor in that first half, and that's what we were saying. I was like, does it take us to go behind, take a wee jag, and then that's where we get a reaction, because at that point it's too late. Or look, we'll need to do a wee bit of, I think, soul searching within the staff and within the personnel and within the players, and we'll sort that out. We've got a friendly again on Wednesday, thinking that we had a free week this weekend, but next weekend, but we've now got a league game. So for me, it doesn't stop. It's one game. I think we've got a couple of games in hand on the majority of the teams, and if we win it, we're right in there. Look, the goal this year for everybody's in the top 8, and the last couple of years we've easily done that with a Holocaust like 6 months in both seasons. So for me, it's no anywhere near that bad. But you're going, what's that, 8 games now, and we've lost 3, drew 1, won 4. You're going, it's alright, it's no magical, but that was a disappointment, because it was a bit of a marker. Threave, we knew they were going to be a good team and they like to play, and look, I'll probably say that maybe we got some things wrong today, and that showed in the first half where we get a wee bit terrorised. We changed that at half time, and maybe we should have been a bit braver to change that a bit earlier, to be honest, John. So I think, alright, I can be disappointed with the players and the quality that they're showing on the ball, but I think we can also reflect on ourselves and be a bit braver as well. And look, I do that myself. I'll go away, particularly after defeats, and say, what did I get right, what did I get wrong, and where can we make the changes. The issue there is, if you're constantly making changes, then there's no consistency for boys to be playing. So
and what much as you're looking at what you can change, are you looking at the players individually to do that with themselves?
We saw in moments there the day and what you've got, like as I said, like that third goal with Owen Hunter where he can just shell it, but you also see the brilliance that he can bring within the game. Again, Jordan Duffy making a silly mistake that causes another goal, and that momentum just drags you right down. But you're going, he's been outstanding this season, you know, right? That's the bits where you're sitting there going, I don't mean, I expect better, but you just don't expect the mistakes for the quality players that are in there. And it's it is a wee bit disheartening and a shame. But I think it was just unfortunate we couldn't get ourselves back into it, and we spoke about it. I don't know how many times we've done that. We shot ourselves in the foot by the soft goals that we lose. There was a good period of time there where you say, well, you're playing Pollock, you're playing Beef, and you don't leak many goals in, and then you're playing, no disrespect to Threave, I was that, but you're then playing a team in my division and we're leaking goals a lot more than when we were playing against quality teams. I know the levels and performances and boys step up, but we were collectively off it there. And look, Ben and Rowan get sacrificed at half time. That was because of change of personnel and shape. That wasn't directly associated to their 2 performances. It could have been a whole load of people that was done there. And that's the hard one. See, when you can't singly identify he's the problem and take him off, that's when when the whole team's having a wee bit of a nook. That's your issue. You could make all 5 subs at half time, but that's a wee bit drastic. But John, disappointing. As I said, we need to try and get back into that momentum pretty quickly. We'll go and work on the bugs on Monday night, and then again we've got the Wednesday night in the Astro to go and take it and work on them, give some lads a wee bit of exposure in time and see what they can bring into it, and try and get a spot on. The squad depths, as I've said this all year, squad depth's really good, and that's probably the problem, that if you're no good, you're out and somebody else is in, and if they're no good, they're back out again and somebody else is in, and that constant rotation and not being able to keep
stable is probably affecting it, because it's a hard ask for me to bring a boy on that's not played in 3 weeks or start it 3 weeks and go, right, go and be outstanding. And he's like, oh no. And I go, right, that was your chance, right, you're off, right, somebody else in, they'll have the same. So that constant wheel battle.
A couple of forced changes as well, injuries at the moment. So.
Look, Jay's carrying a bit of a knock, so have to rest him, which is changing it. But look, as I said, for me, like, we've got the depth in there. Do you know what I mean? You've got Cal Imrie that comes on in the second half and looks a lot better. And then we staying showing a bit of battle and getting on the ball and getting into good spaces. It's just said the same, like both. I think both subs. I think Johnny's unlucky as well with a header that he's come in there, and he's went and gave us a wee bit of intensity in a press. And look, I could talk here all day about whether the shape was right or whether the instructions or whatever. Obviously, it wasn't right because we get beat. So it's easy to say we have made the call, but there's things that we probably need to look at, and there's maybe spells that we need to give boys a wee opportunity and a chance and give them a wee bit of loyalty. I don't mean when they don't deserve it, just when they've maybe not been that great, but get them back out of that slump rather than being quick to punish people. So that again, that's something I need to look at personally and talk to within the staff.
So get some game time, especially for players that are there or thereabouts but have been starting.
That's although that's what the friendly is, and to be fair, that was what was happening with some of the cup games as well. We were giving people a wee bit of an opportunity to go and stake a claim, and then you're disappointed with them when they've no took that chance. But again, is it too much an expectation? They expect them to come in for the cold and be excellent. I think it is. I think people get into games with confidence and regular rhythm and match sharpness and all those lovely buzzwords. So maybe we'll just need to stick to a specific. Look, we've changed our shape a couple of times as well. Maybe strip it back and go a bit more basics. Maybe we're overloading lads with too many different styles and instructions. So as I said, that's a wee bit of reflection, and with a defeat you always need to look at yourself. It's easy for me to point fingers at the boys and stuff like that as well, where they've made mistakes and they know that themselves, but we need to look at it as a staff and at me personally as well, and say, right, where did I get things wrong, and justify that.
Yeah. And from here it's all league action now, so you can do that, you can be a bit more consistent in terms of the league.
I definitely now had a string of league games in like the winter, so it's going to be a wee bit different and battly, and we probably know what the majority of teams have got for us now. So I just try and build that momentum that we're all back in, and I say put the cup distractions behind us. It's disappointing to be at this stage already and not be in any cups is also a wee bit of a blow, and look, the lads will feel that as well. It's sad and it's hard when you're like, all I've got to play for is the league, which in reality the league is this year is a top 8, which is, it's not exciting. As I go, I just need to get in the top 8. So
still make some wins.
But for me personally, you're going personal objectives and that for the league. You're going, you want to go and try and earn that promotion in your own merit. So that in reality that is finishing the top 3. So that's usually our target at the start of the year. Go and try and compete and finish in there. So that for me is that message has not changed. To go and try and do it. And look, there's plenty of football still to be played. We'll take this one in the chin and we'll go work on the issues and the things that went wrong and reset it with the lads.
Sure, I do. Thanks.
Cheers.